Donald A. Stafford was the 14th African-American officer hired with the Dallas Police Department on August 1, 1960. He was the first black officer to achieve the rank of lieutenant and above, including captain, director, deputy chief, assistant chief, and executive chief of police. Introducing to some and presenting to others, Mr. Donald A. Stafford.
The beginning of my police career started with me being in the Air Force. I had no thoughts whatsoever of being a police officer, period. Not even in the Air Force. And the reason why that I thought about it then is because I was working with a young man who was a buck sergeant who lived here in Dallas. And when I got ready to retire after 4 years in the Air Force, he told me they were hiring in Dallas. I should go to the department and apply. And I did. Most departments today think, being responsive to the community is something that started yesterday. Well, it might have started yesterday with too many of the officers we have today. But that was not my opinion when I first came to the police department. And I have a picture in a police uniform with no rank on whatsoever. I also have another one over here where when I was in the command staff of going to schools talking to young people. Early on, when I was a patrolman, I picked up young children on the way to school and took them to school. And they would be waving at other children, because to begin with, young children saw police officers and they'd run if they came toward them. They were afraid of them. I wanted them to feel like they could come up and talk to me, but I did it because I didn't want them to feel that way about me. Working at Southeast Substation from day one until I left. The reason why that was my favorite assignment is because most of the adults, the black adults who lived in South Dallas, didn't trust the police, didn't have any trust in them whatsoever. Most of the ones that I came in contact with, their previous contact with police officers were bad. I wanted to change that too. I'm kind of honorary because when I first came to the police department, I looked at the rank in the department. And my thoughts were that if I make the first step, I'll be above 1/3 of the people in the police department that can tell me what to do. So we started out with an experiment at Southeast of including not only patrolling, but the investigation of certain burglaries. They were going to promote the guy, which was me, from captain to director. And I told the chief that I thought that would put me in a bad position. And I said, I'd rather take on the additional responsibility and keep the rank of captain. But rather than do that, the chief made directors for all of the division station. So that's how the various levels of command at the substation got started, and that was under Chief Dyson. Back when I started, they used that no word, which is the N word. The instructors did. I always like to sit down close to the front in a mixed group, so there's no doubt that they know I'm there, especially the one that's delivering the message. We had an instructor who used to use that N word in nearly every conversation that he had. Whenever he did it in the class that I was in, I'd fold my material up and stare him down. I'd stare him in the face. I didn't say anything, but I let him know. I folded my stuff up, and staring at him. I didn't like what he was saying. It's like when President Kennedy was assassinated. Everybody they've talked to in the department have been white. I don't know of one black officer that was there at the time that they ever came to say, where were you when he was assassinated? But my partner and I were at Parkland Hospital when they pronounced the fact that he'd been shot. But they'll tell you about everybody else or what they were doing. And we had transported a white prisoner from City Hall to the hospital. I don't know if any time they ever asked us to do that before then. I thought it was for show. But here again, after all of that, nobody's ever been to me or Dan Evans, my trainer. Because I know both of us were out there, and I know what happened. And I'll tell people today, if you don't know your history, you don't know how to prepare very well for your future. When I found out that I would be making more money in retirement than I would with my name still on the payroll, it was time to go. It was time for me to leave. If you look around City Hall today, I don't think there was any reference made to anything about the building where a black thing was there. I would be lying to you if I told you I didn't pay any attention to it. I'd be lying to you. I mean, it makes me feel real good. It makes me feel like I have achieved something in life for somebody else other than just myself. Because I know there are many blacks and browns in that department that have been overlooked in the past. It doesn't matter how you come into this world, only how you live in it. That's one of my favorites. It doesn't matter how you come into this world, only how you live in it.
Donald A. Stafford remains a highly respected mentor and advocate to the Dallas Police Department and its members. He is a highly respected and prestigious trailblazer who paved the way for many blacks to achieve rank on the department. Chief Stafford, thank you for 31 years of service and a job well done.